Yeah, it's
Okay.
recording. I guess,
Okay.
where does this file save? Do you know?
It's going to save depending on Zoom, it's going to either save it to your desktop or to some Zoom folder that you have set up.
Okay. Yeah, I'm totally new to Zoom as per you. So.
Okay, cool. All right. I'm recording on my side as well. Hold on, I got to fix my video so that I'm
How long have you
here.
been doing this?
Oh, I've been podcasting for just about 5 years. We got
Really?
yeah.
Do you ever hear Cars at Carlisle? He's a
No.
podcast. He's a podcast too. I'm still like, I mean, I've done radio interviews, like traditional
Hold
radio
on, save
interviews.
this. This is good conversation. I
Is
want
it?
to talk
Okay.
about yeah, hold on.
All right.
All right, man. All right, let me get rid of all the stuff that I got here. I'll go over to my notes. Weeding, correct? Did I say that right?
Weeding. Yep.
Weeding. Okay. All right, here we go in 3 seconds. Let's just give my editing team 5 seconds of dead air so they know where to go. This will be the only 5 seconds of dead air. I promise. I promise. I promise. Here we go in 5 seconds. So listen, if you're listening to this Ford Mustang community, make sure that you take a moment. Please, please, please. This is how we get rankings. This is how we get ratings. This is how we get new subscribers. I want you to go over, if you're listening to an Apple podcast, I want you to go over to Apple Podcast right now and just review the show. 5-star review. Please give us a 5-star review. This will help us in the ratings, help us in the rankings, help us to get many, many more listeners to the show. Welcome to Ford Mustang, the Early Years podcast. So, to say that today's guest is a Mustang expert is an underestimation.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Oh boy, yeah. So William Weeding has been pumping out special interest Mustang videos for years, and with over 7,000 in play today, from garages to SEMA to car shows and beyond. Looking forward to chatting today. Welcome. And this is probably the only time I'm going to have a chance to talk on the show.
Oh man, listen to this.
Welcome, William,
Hi,
to
Doug.
Ford Mustang, the Early Years podcast. Thanks for being here, brother.
Hey man, I appreciate what you're doing, man. We got to keep this Mustang tradition going. So it's like the more of us that are out there saying Mustangs are cool, the more awareness we're going to have for the coolest car on the earth. Because 57 years straight. I mean, we've never had a 4-door until about the Mach-E, but we can talk about that later.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. I want to talk about the. I want to talk about.
Yeah, if I talk about that, I don't think Ford's going to like me, and I want them to love me. You know what I mean?
It's okay. That's the beauty of this show. Listen, if you're a Ford lover, I've been on many of the Facebook groups, and what's great about it is I've seen so much of the Mach-E bashing, but I've also seen some pretty positive comments too from the family guy that needs the room to put somebody in it, other than just he and a partner. So
all right, we're going to start off. We're going to start off with the Mach-E. Is that what's happening, Doug?
All right. So we don't have to start. We don't have to start there.
I can do it.
But hold on. Let me just make one statement. If you are listening to this on audio, that is one dimension of this show, and Ford Mustang community. If you want to, head over to themustangpodcast.com. That's my website. I had to think about that for a second. Themustangpodcast.com. The video of this will be posted in addition to the audio as well. So you're going to see William's beautiful face, his cowboy hat, his Trump poster behind him. William,
you said it. I can't believe you said
it. Well, I'm looking at it too. I'm looking at it too. Okay, even crazy people listen to the show too, so it's fine. Nobody has to turn off the show. This is not a political show at all. I'm excited to have you here, cowboy hat and all.
Thank you.
I don't even know where to start with you, William. You are so prolific in the world of Mustang. Do you want to talk about your channel for videos? Do you want to talk about your MustangMedic website? What do you want to talk about?
Well, I guess the best way to start it is 2011. I was in a carport. I'm a marketing guy. The singer I was promoting from my executive producer, I found out didn't take off. Work ended. And I'm like, what the heck am I going to do? Well, I started off as Auto Body Man. I started a channel called Auto Body Man, and I was doing videos and letting the viewers tell me what I was doing wrong. So obviously I don't care about looking stupid. I've got 7,600 videos up.
Wow.
Yeah, like about a third of them I probably messed up on something. And the funny thing is, the feedback I always got from really famous people, at SEMA, they'd walk up to me and go, Will, we love watching your videos because you're always messing up. And I'm like, that's kind of messed up. I go, the reason I do the videos is so people can give me feedback. Hey, Will, this could be a better way to do it. You should do it this way. Well, my point of view is, God's watching, so why not put it on video? I really don't honestly care if somebody thinks I'm a moron. I'm just real. And that's What I think I bring to the table is I'm just a guy that thinks the 65 Mustang Fastback was the ultimate design, probably designed by aliens, because every car now that is cool looks like a silhouette of the 65 Mustang Fastback. Now, there's BMW guys, Volkswagen guys who hate me for that point of view. But if you look at it and you look at the swept back of the Fastback, the way the nose sticks out, almost everything that is a cool looking car looks like that Ford Mustang. So of course it's going to last 57 years straight. Sorry, Camaro guys. I know your line's been interrupted twice now. And I always say that to the Camaro guys. But the Ford Mustang is the quintessential, meaning the best American sports car made for us, the middle class, you know, all the way through. You can be broke cruising around in a 95, you know, V6 and just feeling good about yourself when you're cutting a turn, because you're still dealing with a Mustang. You're sitting inside a bucket that's low to the ground. It looks cool. It's fun. You can customize it any possible way you can customize it and still just be enjoying your car. And it doesn't have to be a 429 Boss. It doesn't have to be, you know, a notch Fox body. It's just, the cars are just cool. They're a great way of expressing ourselves, and we can afford to do so. You know, I'm trying to get into a Ford GT, but I need $460,000 to start. So, you know, the Ford GT, you know, that's a whole other subject. But
all right, hold up. You've got a whole bunch of stuff that you just mentioned there. I want to go back just for a quick second and tell our Ford Mustang community, if you haven't had a chance yet to watch the documentary, A Faster Horse, take a moment and do that, because I'll tell you, it really does go through. And William did talk about. You go by Will or William?
Either one, whatever you want to call me.
So Will, it's easy for me to remember Will, so I might start there. So if you have not had a chance to watch the documentary A Faster Horse that was written in 2015, take a moment and go back, because it really does talk about, and it does spend a lot of time talking about the 2015 model change, but it really does do an entire history of the car. And it's such great imagery, and you get to go into the factory, and you get to talk to the lead engineers, and you really do get to see a whole different vibe on what the Mustang is all about, other than just the one or the ones that you have in your garage. So take me back again to 2011. Did you say? So you had to make a career change, and you said, "What the hell am I going to do?" And now, how did Ford Mustang come to the top of that list with what your next step in career was going to be?
I owned two Mustangs at the time, a 94 and a 95. Now, SN95 guys, I know there's some lovers out there, but they don't sell for a lot. So the 95 is about worth $3,000, maybe $4,000 in impeccable shape. Well, I had those two cars, and I kept seeing this. I was driving my kids to school, and I kept seeing this 95 black SVT Cobra sitting in the front of somebody's house, just paint chipped off it, dented bumper. The visors were hanging off it. The sun in the desert beats the hell out of these cars. Yeah. And obviously, he was out in the sun all its entire life. Well, I walked up and I offered the guy like $800 for it. He ended up selling it to me for $1,400. I did 40 videos rebuilding the SVT. And it's the Cobra project on Auto Body Men. If you Google that right now, you'll see me in a carport as Auto Body Men working on this Cobra.
All right, hold on. Let's give them the website, and I'll put a link in the show notes for it so they know where to go. It's because you want them to listen to the rest of this interview before they go there, correct? Maybe not. I wasn't 100% sure. So it's called Auto Body Man?
Auto Body Men. AUTOBODYMEN. Auto Body Men is the name of the channel. It's got like 120 videos on it.
All right, where do they find it? On YouTube? William, stay with me for a second. On YouTube? Oh, okay, great. All right, so on youtube.com, just go to Auto Body Men, and you will see it there. And I will make sure.
You'll see me 8 years younger.
Okay, I will make sure that I put a link in the show notes for that so that you don't have to try to do the research to find it. Okay, keep
Good
going.
man. Get ready for a lot more links.
Oh, I'm typing. See, look, Ford Mustang community. This is what I do. I
Doug, I
have guests. Now,
appreciate
you're
you.
seeing me on video right now, but normally what I'll do is I'll talk to a guest. They're giving me information, and I'm furiously typing on my keyboard. And now you can actually see me doing that. If my hands are coming up, it's because I'm actually typing on the keyboard that's right here in video. Okay,
Doug,
cool.
You're my new best friend. I just want you to know that.
Oh gosh, Will.
And what kind of Mustang are you driving?
I have a 65 convertible.
At 289?
289. Yep.
C4?
Oh, geez. C4. Yep.
Okay. So, okay. All right. Sorry. I want to start interviewing you. Okay. So I realized that I did 40 days. I put it on eBay to sell it, and it sold within a day. And I was like, holy crap. These people, I do day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. And I've got viewers. I never call them fans, but I've got viewers. I always think people are like, oh yeah, I've got lots of fans and I'm an influencer. I'm not buying off on that. We're just a bunch of people putting our faces on video and being a community to get together. So there's no ego involved here in any of this crap. So I ended up selling the car so fast and doing the series day 1, day 2, day 3, that the viewer knew exactly what's inside the car. They knew what was on the floorboards. They knew what bolts were put on, what lug nuts were put on. They know about the problems with the idiot lights and all the crap that I went through. So the car has a history. It creates a video history. So it gets an intrinsic value of more than 30% of the value of the car, meaning you know what you're getting. It's not an auction car. It's not rolling over the block and you're seeing everything. Only what you're seeing is what you can see. From MustangMedic, it's inside the center of the car out. And that's going to lead me into MustangMedic Ranch, but we can go there later.
All right.
So when that happened and that car sold so quickly, and it sold for, I guess I got $7,600 for it. I never put the values that I actually sold the cars for out of respect to the people that bought the cars. It's been 8 years, so I can talk about that. It's worth a lot more now. The SN95s, the Fox bodies are all coming up in value as they're aging a little bit.
You know, I have a bunch of stocks like that. I bought them high and I sold them low.
Don't even get me going on Apple stock, because I spent 15 grand in 1986 on a Macintosh computer and a laser writer. And if I would have bought stock, I'd be talking to you right now with $7.5 million. Well, my wife would have gotten half. But I would have at least had $3 million.
That's a whole different story about your ex-wife. That's another story,
and I'm not involved in the FBI. There's no comment on that.
Okay.
Anyway, so what happens? I thought to myself, well, Mustangs are really cool. I really liked the SVT. I liked learning about the history, and I thought to myself, auto bodyman's got a negative connotation because everybody's like, oh, auto bodyman, I'm flipping cars. And you can't flip cars called auto bodyman because nobody believes you didn't do body work on the car. So it had a total negative connotation. And I was an EMT in the past, so I'm not a total fake medic. Okay, just for the record, guys, I was an EMT in the past, and once you're a Jersey firefighter, you're always a firefighter. So I'm a firefighter too. Anyway, I loved the medics. I loved bringing the stretcher to the helicopter and watching them fly off with their helmets and doing all this stuff. And I was like, I want to be a medic. So I thought, I like Mustangs. I wanted to be a medic. I wonder if MustangMedic.com is available. So I did every business I've started, I'm an entrepreneur. You always want to make sure you've got the .com. If you can get the .com, you're pretty good to go. I got Mustang.
Hey, listen, I can't believe that Ford Mustang MustangPodcast.com was available. I can't believe it. And I was so surprised that when I came up with Ford Mustang, the early years, or Ford Mustang podcast, I couldn't even believe it was available on Apple and on Apple Podcasts, and that nobody was doing now I think there is one other Mustang show that's out there. But yeah, I agree with you. The importance of finding a valuable URL for your business. Cool.
Yeah. And it also helps out a lot with copyright and all that stuff. So, and we're not going to talk MustangMedic.com. Don't go there, guys. You're going to see it's for sale. I lost it during a dark period, a dark time. It doesn't matter. MustangMedicRanch.com is back. But I was always known as the .com guy because I was like, MustangMedic.com. And people would walk up to me in car shows and say that. because I was very dramatic about the domain name. So when Mustang Medic started, I ended up working on a 66 gold, can't remember the name of the color, gold convertible that had an engine fire, a 289 engine fire. And this client calls me up. I'm doing these videos and he's like, yeah, I want you to work on my Mustang. And at the time I was just flipping cars. You know, I went and bought a 71 fastback. I've got thousands of videos on that car. I bought a 66 rotten, you know, totally floor rotted out coupe, which, you know, not worth much. And I also bought a 69 coupe. Well, I'm doing all this and I get this client and I'm like, wow. And I like charged like $7,000. I towed the car in my trailer to my house. I'm working in a carport in Palm Springs, hiding from the code enforcement people. I cut the back out of the carport and started loading cars in the back of this rented house that I had in Palm Springs. All this, mind you, is on video. And, you know, you're not allowed to have a business.
And by the way, Will was doing this in August in Palm Springs. It was 130 degrees in his carport, probably.
Yeah. And then we had the wind going through the carport, putting dirt into the cylinders of the engine blocks I had apart. It was just crazy stuff. And I was doing videos standing in a swimming pool, changing out leaf springs on a 71 fastback. And I filled up the backyard with like 9 rare Mustangs.
Wow.
All out in the sun, out in the dirt. I ended up getting a building. I'm summarizing really fast. Ended up getting a building. I filled that up where we're like walking 1 foot between the cars. We had to move cars out during the day so we could work on cars inside. And then I ended up getting a 9,000 square foot shop in Cathedral City. And I had 29 active projects going. I had 4 Shelbys, all worth over 100 grand. And I'm still saying on video, I don't know what I'm doing. The reason I got all that work was because I always showed my mistakes. The viewer and the client, and then granted, a lot of videos. I was doing 13 videos a day. That's why we got so many videos.
I'm afraid William showed so many mistakes that they started pulling their cars out of his shop.
You would think they would, but they didn't. They kept bringing them. And the reason they kept bringing them is because if I made a mistake, it would be on video and then they'd see me fix it. I was a completely honest restoration shop. Very rare.
Right.
Very rare.
So when did you discover that that restoration was not your thing? At what point?
Let me bag on restoration now.
Well, I'm just saying, when did you decide that having a shop wasn't your thing? Because you don't own the shop anymore.
Oh boy, this is a big question. All right, I got to handle this politically. I got to answer this politically because I have never in all of my videos ever trashed anyone.
Are we starting today? Are we starting today? This could be a good soap opera.
No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to trash anybody. All I'm going to say is this. Oh, how do I say this? This is big news. All right, I'll give you the news. Here you go, viewers. You're ready. Here it is. This is what happened. And I didn't know this till 2 years after I was forced to close the shop in 2015. Now, I say close the shop because Cathedral City's shop was a shop. MustangMedic continues on because MustangMedic is an enthusiast about Ford Mustangs, and there's lots of opportunities coming towards my way because I continue to be MustangMedic. And you are a MustangMedic too, because you work on your Mustang, I assume. You've changed some parts.
Oh yeah, I wash it every Sunday.
Right. Anybody that's working on a car, shade tree mechanic, whatever they want to call it, you're a MustangMedic if you work on your Mustang. We're all part of the MustangMedic family. I'm not just like, I'm the MustangMedic.
No, just so you know, I say tongue in cheek that I work on my Mustang. I take it to Carlson's Garage in Carlisle, California, and that is the place. I have Tim and his gang work on my car. I don't touch the car myself because I know if I touched it myself to do any repair, it would be sitting in my garage rather than out on the road as a daily.
Well, I certainly hope that they're not charging you because you're sure as heck helping them out right now.
Well, you know, I really do. I do respect the work that Tim and his gang does over there at Carlson's, and I would recommend them. And no, I don't get paid for any endorsement for the show. I really do want to go down there and talk to them on camera and get it recorded so that we do have an episode of Ford Mustang, the early years, with him as a part of it, because he is like an icon when it comes to Mustang repairs. He's extremely fair. His guys are great. They walk around the car with me, all sorts of great stuff. And again, if you happen to be anywhere near Carlisle, California, go to Carlson's Garage and ask for Tim and tell him that Doug from Ford Mustang, the Early Years podcast sent you. No commercial endorsement at all. It is just it's my personal endorsement. Tim does not pay me 1 cent to say this, but I just love the guy and I want to help him.
And the viewers are just going to have to choose to believe you on that.
Well,
Anyway,
they will. I mean, I've spent thousands of dollars in there.
I'm totally
Yeah.
joking. I plug a lot of people too.
Well, I walk in there with I drive in there with my 65 Ford and I walk out with a Mach E, so I'm feeling good.
A Mach E.
Whatever. I'm just kidding. All right,
okay,
keep going.
You lost me on that. I was like, wait a minute, how was Mach E? So so what happened was the clients kept coming, the work was there, and unfortunately, what had happened was I took on about 7 of the projects or 8 of the projects were with one client. And this client, since I was social media, since I put all my guys online, since I was saying their names, you can find my guys. So in short, what I learned was that they were all hired out from under me, most of them. I want to say most of them because then it doesn't say who was doing it. But most of them were hired out from under me by my main client. So they weren't doing any work for me anymore the last 8 weeks of the shop as I was trying to save it because they were already getting paid by a client of mine. So the shop didn't have a chance because it was basically overtaken by one of the clients that I had because they were getting paid. So they were laughing and chuckling while I was basically just trying to save the shop. I caught the wife cheating on me. Everything was going down the tubes. I got depressed and I just lost it and I shut everything down. I gave almost everything away for pennies on the dollar. I gave my truck, my MustangMedic truck. You can Google it. It's a really cool truck. My F-250, my faux Chevy, which was a Chevy truck that had Ford logos on it. I called it a faux Chevy because it was a Ford.
I got you.
It was a Ford Sierra 2500. And that was just fun because I pissed off Chevy guys and they said, of course you need a Chevy to pick up Fords. And they were all mocking me. It was really fun. So the shop closed, 3 years dark. I'm suicidal, the whole 9 yards. I come back with Wellbutrin. I'm dialed in, I'm grounded, and I'm back, baby. So MustangMedic is cranking out all kinds of creative again on MustangMedic Instagram, on MustangMedic Facebook, on MustangMedic YouTube, and I am moving towards MustangMedic Ranch, which is going to be not a shop, mind you, because I'm going to have a big sign that says no deadlines, and it's going to be a one location with 4 lifts, 8 restoration projects, all supporting 8 different charities, because MustangMedic focuses on the inside and then it goes to the outside. We are real, we are centered, we are semi-rust free.
Semi-rust free, not rest free, rust free.
There's no, mind you guys, when they were doing those welds on the Mustangs back in the 60s, they weren't putting any primer in between the welds. There is rust on every Mustang. You can't see it all, but there's always rust.
Wow. All right. You heard it here first on Ford Mustang, the early years. There's rust on every Mustang because they did not prime between the welds. Interesting.
You can't avoid it.
All right, take me back between 64 and a half and where we are present day. What's your favorite version of the Mustang right now? If you were to have to pick one to put it in your garage, and you have to do some work on it, it's not going to be you can't pick it because of value. You have to pick it because of looks. Which one do you want?
69 fastback, and it doesn't need to be a Mach 1 or anything. And the reason I want a 69 fastback, one, I'm kind of unusual, and when I go to car shows, I like to bring rolling restorations, because if you let's say I take a 69, I go completely back to concourse meaning bone stock. I have to say it, some people don't know what concourse is, but if I take it to a car show, I've never been a guy at a car show that sits at a bench or a stool sitting next to my car watching people look at it. And of course, I have to admit, I guess I like attention because I want everything I do to be unique. I don't want it to be the same. I don't want to be the same as everybody else. We are all equal in God's eyes. Let me first say that. But I have a natural tendency to kind of be a little bit of a showman, I guess you could call it. So the 69, if I'm working on one, like I used to tow cars to car shows that were halfway restored. They're much more interesting than if you've got 8 different 69 fastbacks sitting next to each other. They all look great and they're all pretty and they all look the same. But when you've got a rolling restoration with a little bit of rust and all this stuff going on and you're working on, body panel or a fender, I just love it. I just love
Yeah.
the potential of a Mustang more than the finished Mustang, if that makes any sense.
That's a sweet car too. I'm looking at a picture of it. I see the fastback 69 fastback. I see the 429. I see the 351. There's a bunch of different
Right.
styles, engine sizes. See some good stances on it. Definitely the GTR code. There's some really cool. I mean, and they're not overpriced. I mean, they're anywhere from, I'm just really doing a cursory overview here. Anywhere from $25,000. Oh, well, here's one at $100,000. So 25 to $100,000.
You can find them for $1,000 still. They're out there in barns and backyards with trees growing through them. Ford made a ton of those Mustangs. I mean, people keep going, I can't believe you keep finding Mustangs. They're out there. I mean, look what happened with the Bullet. I mean, the guy's father had to die for us to find out that it exists, and now it's going to be on auction in Meekum in January, which I'm planning on going. So that's going to be a trip.
Wow. So talk about your channel a little bit. Share. Are you still cutting as many videos as you were before? You were just at SEMA, weren't you?
Yeah, I'm doing a lot less videos on YouTube because of that darn bell. YouTube added this bell to alert everybody about your videos when they post. So I've got 14,000 subscribers, and I post a video that takes 15 minutes worth of production, maybe a little bit more. I use iMovie. And I'll get like 90 views in a week. Well, on Instagram, I can do one post that I shoot, post it, and I'll get 600 impressions, as we call it in marketing, 600 views in under an hour. So my main focus right now is Instagram, and what I'm most proud of about my Instagram account, and now we only have 3,000 right now, or barely 3,000. Maybe you guys can fix that for me right now by going and following.
We'll try, but I was just struggling to get people to understand what a podcast is. So
oh, yeah. Well,
I got my own problems.
I got to tell you the comparison between West Coast and East Coast in a second on that. But Instagram is always different. Every 5 posts, I'll have a Mustang in it, but I do all kinds of muscle cars. I'll do an interview with a praying mantis. I get hit in the head with a battle axe wearing body armor. Anything can happen at MustangMedic, and therefore the content is always going to be kind of interesting because you're not just seeing another pretty Mustang, another pretty Mustang, another pretty Mustang. And I'm so real that, like, I just purchased a 2000 Mustang for $600, a V6, 250,000 miles, doesn't smoke, Mobile One, love it. There you go. There's my promotion for Mobile One. They can pay me though. I'd like to get paid for it. I don't try to hide anything. I mean, I'm a phoenix from the ashes after a divorce. I've got my daughters with me, and I'm starting all over again. And I'm going to do it real. I'm going to do it till I'm dead. And this is the plan. Are you ready? Okay, here it is.
I'm ready. Is this the news? Wait a minute. You alluded to earlier that you're gonna release some news that you're a little bit concerned that you shouldn't release it. Is this the news coming up right here?
Well, the news that I was concerned about was I don't want to badmouth anybody. So the news was how I closed the shop. A lot of people don't know that my guys were getting paid by a client.
Oh, I got you.
That was news. I mean,
okay.
I've said it to a few people privately. Obviously, it's not too private.
That's okay, William. Nobody's listening. It's fine.
Right. And I did say some people. I didn't say all. So therefore, no one can say I called them out. I'm being very political in that. That was the news.
Okay,
but
got
it. The news is I am working with a client right now to help him sell one of his Mustangs, who we worked on his car and did metal work on it. That's news. I'm not announcing him yet because we're not completely solid on that, but it's going to be a trip in January to Meekum. We're going to see the Bullet. I got a lot of video on the Bullet on Patreon. We can talk about Patreon later, but I've got a lot of news on the
Well, you
bullet.
better do it fast. You better share this information because we're going to be running out of time in
Are we
about
running out
5
of time?
minutes.
Are we out of time?
We're going to be out of time. We,
All right.
have a lot of interviews coming up, William, and I love you. We're going to have you back because you have so much information. I told you at the top of this, I'm going to have a chance to ask more than 3 questions, and you actually have. You've given me the opportunity to ask a bunch of questions, which is funny. But so wait, so talk about just for a quick moment, talk about your Patreon page, some of this bonus material, the bullet. It sounds like you have some bonus video that you have available through Patreon or something like that.
Yeah, if you go, the easiest way to get to Patreon, because everybody's kind of like, what's Patreon, is just go to the Instagram account MustangMedic.
Got it.
And then in the bio, it gives you a link. You could become a member. It's like $2, $3, and $4 a month. And it's all of the how-to videos now go up there. And yeah, guys, it's time to get paid. It's time for me to start like growing this thing. I'm going to, I will put some stuff up on YouTube that's cool and promotional. There's people that I do support and I want to go public and not have, obviously have them pay. We just started with Patreon. There's only 4 people right now. So I'm doing all of this work for 4 people and I'm okay with that because they're willing to give me a couple dollars a month to they value it that way.
All right, William, I just found the Patreon page. I placed it in the show notes if you want to support William and see some videos. And I'm looking at some of the donation amounts. It's pretty reasonable. It's like $2 a month, $2 a month to get some really cool videos. And I know that William is a giver. So he's gonna over deliver. Of course, if you want to just get the same old, you can listen to this show, which is absolutely free. But I provide no bonus material. So go over to his Patreon page, patreon.com/MustangMedic. I'll make sure I put a link in the show notes for that as well. So tell me what's happening in the future for you. Where are you heading? What's the next step for a MustangMedic creator or fan?
Well, if I find a Mustang, of course, I'm going to buy it and start working on it because that's what I do. And MustangMedic Ranch is in formation. It's not an official nonprofit yet. It will be a nonprofit shortly. And that is the future. Rachel is going to take over. She's 13 years old right now. She's the VP of marketing.
Nice.
Sarah's 14. She's the VP creative director. And they both will be sitting on the board of MustangMedic Ranch. So when I'm going to be sitting there, I'm going to be like 80 years old. I'm wearing a cowboy hat. I'll be sitting on the porch. There's going to be 8 structures around the main structure called MustangMedic Ranch. People are going to come and stay overnight. They're going to eat with us. They're going to work on the cars of their charity choice. They'll all be on video. Then they're going to go to Barrett Jackson and Meekum. It's all going to be for each charity, each specific charity. So MustangMedic supports 8 charities. Those 8 charities are all connected to the restorations of cars. They can be Judges, they can be Camaros, they can be anything that's a rare muscle car and people want to get hands on because a lot of people would visit me at the shop and work on it. So I'm going to be sitting there smoking a cigar. That's what I do. And Rachel's going to be in probably like a tribute GT 350 65. She's going to be cruising around the technical track that we're going to have that's going to surround the ranch. And as she's peeling out and going by, I'm going to fall over. My cowboy hat's going to fall off.
He's got this all mapped out, everybody.
I'm going to just fall to the ground like in The Godfather. I'm going to die. And then the very next day, Rachel's going to be at SEMA, and she's going to be like, "Hi, I'm MustangMedic. How you doing?" That's the plan.
Well, I think probably a good entrance for Rachel would be to maybe have her on, and I think you do because I'm watching a bunch of the videos, and I think I see those are your 2 girls that are next
Sarah
to you.
And Rachel.
Yep, Sarah and Rachel, which is cool. My daughter's name is Rachel as well. Again, Ford Mustang community, head over to Facebook or Instagram or anywhere that you get your social media. MustangMedic or MustangMedic Ranch is actually on Facebook right now. He's got a whole bunch of posts explaining what MustangMedic Ranch is all about. Definitely cool. And so appreciative of all the stuff that you do in the world of Mustang. So before we close,
can I say one more thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
I got like 30 seconds.
Yeah, go, man, go.
Okay, I did a challenge, and I'm driving around in my little V6, my little manual V6 2000, a New Edge, and I said I can beat, because of my experience, because of Chuck Valley Raceway, I'm actually a certified race car driver, and you can see Chuck Walla Valley Raceway. I said with experience, I can beat any 5.0 manual on a technical track for time.
All right.
It took 5 minutes, and it's a young man who's 19 years old who was inspired to buy a 2019 GT stick. He's in a little pizza place in a little town that I live in, took the challenge, and now he's adding all these parts to the car. He's already got a tuner in it and all this stuff. So he's got less than 3 weeks experience in a Ford Mustang. He bought the Mustang because he was inspired by MustangMedic. He said it, gives me credit. He's going to be racing me in January, potentially. I've got a meeting today. I'm going to say it in New Jersey Motor Speedway. And I'm inviting anybody that wants to come out from anywhere. It's got to be a Mustang. If you got a V8 5.0 stick and you think you can beat these V6s, which most of you do, you can challenge. Anybody that's got a V6 manual that thinks they can beat a V8 for time can come out. So I don't know what the tickets are yet. You're gonna have to pay to get on the track. I'm planning on making it a big event. I have never done a MustangMedic event. It's kind of risky because like 2 people could show up and I'll be like, yay! But we're gonna do it anyway.
Hey, listen, that's always my fear is that I'm gonna have
January.
Yeah.
Because Meekham's early January. I'm gonna be over there in Florida. And whatever you guys want to say on MustangMedic, it's coming your way. I'm going to be at all the car shows that are local. I'm doing California shows. I'm sorry about Fabulous Fords Forever canceling this year. I'm not happy about it. But whatever's going to be cool, I'm going to cover it. Was that a hard sell, Doug?
No, that was perfect. That was perfect. And I'm sure if you head over to any of his pages, Instagram, Facebook, probably because he's got a 13 and 14-year-old, I'm thinking Snapchat is also an available thing.
No, I avoid Snapchat. I don't understand it. It's all for
you don't have Snapchat yet. So, William, thank you for being on the show, and thanks for sharing. Partly what's so great about you, and I had this when I had a preliminary conversation for Mustang Community with William yesterday. It wasn't necessarily, and not that he doesn't have a huge amount of knowledge, because he does. He obviously knows a ton about Mustangs and restoration and the cars themselves and the history of the car. He knows about under the hood. He knows all of that stuff. But none of that is what sold me on having him on the show. What sold me to have him on the show was his level of enthusiasm just about the entire subject matter. I mean, you can't get any more infectious than someone that has that level of enthusiasm about Mustang. So, William, thank you for your dedication to the label, to the brand, and to the car, man. I appreciate you being here very much.
Thank you, Doug. And we did not talk about Carol, and we did not talk about the Mach-E. So there's going to have to be a part 2.
We'll definitely have a part 2. No problems, no worries at all. I'm excited to do some level of simulcast so that you and I can get on this together. And this might be, I don't know, do you have any videos that are an hour in length?
An hour in length?
Yeah.
No, but I might now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You will now. So we'll make sure that we'll get you back on the show, and we'll do this all over again for your community as well. And thanks, brother, for being on the show and for your enthusiasm about the community and the brand itself.
Thank you, Doug. I appreciate what you're doing too, man.
Hey, information about today's guest will be all in the show notes, including special links. Those will be in the show notes. Also, I was furiously taking down all the notes, and hopefully there'll be a bunch of links in there. Have an idea for the show? Want your classic Mustang on the cover of our weekly show, where you think you'd be a great guest? Send an email directly to me, Doug@turnkeypodcast.com, or check out the website with the bonus video of this show right there. It's themustangpodcast.com. Thanks for listening. Keep it safe. Keep it rolling, and keep it on the road. Until next time. Hey, nice job, man. Nice job. Oh, that was cool. That was very cool. We teased
it too, so like they might want to probably find out my opinion about the Mach-E.
Well, they definitely will, and we'll definitely have you on the show again. I have a couple of weeks of guests that are lined up, but let's figure sometime in January we'll get you back on and do it all over again. Now, this episode's going to air fast. This episode's going to air on Monday, I think. So be ready to roll and do your best to promote it, and I'll do the same thing on my side. And hopefully we'll get you some business, and we'll get you some people over to Patreon, or who knows what we'll get. I'll get a whole bunch of people yelling at me. I have no idea.
Do me a favor, just email me what you want said on the best sales copy for you on that video, because I got to figure. I don't know where this video went. I have no idea.
Okay. If you go to here, you can hit stop on your. Just hit stop on record. And then as soon as we, oh, you're still recording. Just hit stop for a moment. That way. Okay. When you go to